it was the most horrible thing. I remember when I first got my first panic attack, I thought I was going to die. And I didn't know what was going on. That's when I was drinking at the time a lot heavily, and drugs and everything else. Figured out that was one of the reasons why, you know, that it's so hard to deal with anxiety and depression, because you don't know what's going on. You feel like you're going crazy. And it eventually, because I started getting really paranoid and thinking that medicine was bad for me and all this stuff like that, I wouldn't take any kinds of meds or anything like that. And I actually turned a little bit schizophrenic for a while. Anxiety can do that to you, where you feel like, I was feeling like my food was going to be people trying to poison me. It was really a really tough time. And it's in '98, it's when I finally, I think after my grandfather died, I went into a really bad depression, and I finally gave up. I said, I gotta get clean. And my little boy, Nathan, at the time he was 3 years old, I came home drunk, and he looked at me like I was a piece of shit, and I was like, okay, this is enough. I gotta get this, under control. So I quit drinking. Worked for a little while. Depression came back, anxiety came back, and that's when I decided to get on meds, which helped me immensely. But I'd always have to deal with it. And that was it's just the start of the iceberg. Then the depression started coming, and I can't really explain what depression is like unless you suffer from it. It's a horrible thing. It's like walking around with a giant lead blanket on you. Nothing excites you like you used to. Nothing excites you. Things that you used to enjoy, don't enjoy anymore. The concept of happiness is just not. You can't get it at the time. So, I went through really tough times with that, and finally got on some medicine, and that helped. But that was just the start of the battle. I still deal with it to this day. It's a very dark place. It's really hard, and thank God that I had my music to get me through. I think music's one of the most powerful things in the entire world. It has the power to heal people. It has the power to bring people together, no matter what you're into. It's just a beautiful thing, and that's why I threw myself wholeheartedly into making music, because that is my drugs now. That is my antidepressant. That is everything to me. I think people with suffer depression need to find something, an outlet to express themselves and let those bad things out of their head. It helped me a lot, immensely. In your brain, depression shit can get misplaced. It's like a file cabinet. And then I went through this therapy called EMDR therapy, where I watched this like night rider light back and forth. It's because I had post-traumatic stress disorder from working at the coroner's office, and I had horrible nightmares and shit. And the doctors explained to me that sometimes your brain, when you experience traumas or depression, that your brain can't properly store that away, so it keeps coming back to fucking haunt you in your dreams or in thoughts. And so I did that therapy, and it really helped a lot. So if people ask the doctors if they get help, that therapy really helped me. It helped me a lot. My trick is, number one, when you're feeling depressed, you don't want to get out of bed. Get the fuck out of bed. Just get up. Force yourself to do things that you feel like you're too depressed to do, and it helps. Another good thing that helps is with depression is exercise. If you can just get out and walk or do any kind of exercise, it has some way of helping your body get through the depression. For me, it's playing shows. I go out there and kill myself. I've been doing it 20 years. My fucking body hurts, but that's what keeps me going. It keeps me from going to that dark place. So things that help me overcome it are my children. Honestly, those are the greatest things that ever happened to me. For real, I get emotional about it, but those little dudes give me a reason to wake up and give me a reason to shake the depression off, because I can't do that for them. I don't want them to see that. So they were the things that brought me happiness in this life, along with my music, and that's how I deal. And the fact that I'm helping people too helps me deal. Like, I feel like I'm out here sitting here going to be 44 years old, and I want to tell everybody it does get better. It takes time. Sometimes it takes medicine. Sometimes it takes rearranging your whole life and doing things differently, but it does get better at times. And those are the times I live for. Yeah, the dark times come, and I get through them, but eventually, the good times outweigh the bad. You know, if I was to go back to myself, I would try to eliminate all the guilt in my life. Guilt is a horrible fucking thing. It come back to haunt you always. And there's a motto I've lived my life by. It's you know what? Do whatever the fuck you want. Don't let any outside influences try to make you do something you don't want to do. As long as you do what you want and you're not hurting anybody, that shit goes away. There's many experiences, like if fucking guys want to go out and bang a million chicks, right? Don't be married. Don't have a family. If you want to go be an alcoholic, be drunk, do all that, go do that. Make sure you don't have anyone you're gonna hurt. You need to eliminate all guilt out of your life, or try to, most of the bullshit. If I could eliminate that way early on, I would be a different person today. It just seems like that shit keeps piling up, and then these tapes run in your mind. You know what I'm talking about. It's like a fucking tape on loop, and it just fucks with you, and your brain starts, I don't know how to explain it, just starts going. I guess it's mania, whatever they call it. And if I could tell myself to eliminate all that stuff, I think I would have been a lot better off. I would like to tell all of you that you matter and that you're needed, and y'all definitely rock.